How fast will it grab me? Did it get me? Did it get me? No. No. It didn't. Oh, there it is. Trying a new setup here. Loving how this room is coming together, by the way. Sessions are sounding really good in here. Hey everybody, Resident Loser Jeremy here. What I want to talk about today are some things that are making it really, really easy for me to stay organized. Some apps and some websites that are making it indispensable for me to run my business right now, because after everything, people being locked in their homes, not being able to get out, I am booked like crazy right now. I'm figuring out new ways to stay organized and how I'm keeping up with it. So let's go. So if I know anything about myself, I know this thing. When people call, and I get a lot of phone calls from people wanting studio time, people asking questions, and I do not follow up with them. I'll give them all the information that they need. I'll let them make the decision on their own, and then they never call back to schedule. In my mind, past Jeremy, I would have said, that's on them. If they want to come, they'll call me back. What I've learned is if I do manage to call those people back, just talk to them. They want to book. For some reason, they're just not calling me. It may be a situation they want to hear from me to make sure I want to work with them. So I've decided that I need to do better getting back with people and keeping track of the ones who have called. I'm using a CRM. What does CRM stand for? Customer Relationship Management. That makes total sense. I'm using a CRM called close.io. It's not free. I've tried a few. This one is my favorite. I don't think it really matters which one you use. Just pick what works for you. And it kind of depends how many fields you want, how much automation you want involved, blah, blah, blah. You can get it done with a free one. But what I forced myself to do, as soon as somebody calls and as soon as I start talking, I start pulling information. Because the process of selling to me is just getting information, listening to people, or seeing how I can help this project along. So I forced myself to immediately pull up the app, take down their name, take down the phone number, because I'm notorious for never saving a phone number in my phone. There are so many slots in there. If I was looking for somebody specific, or who did I talk to that wanted to do this, I don't remember their name, I don't have the phone number saved. I'm really, really bad about that. So I forced myself to log all of this in my CRM, in my case, close.io, with their name, a description of what we talked about, and then there's sections where it can sync up with your emails. Any email that they send you will all be shown to you here. Any invoice that you send, you can put in there. It's really handy to be able to take notes saying that I talked to them this time, I sent them this invoice, I have yet to receive a deposit, we booked this day. Once all that is done, we move to Asana. Asana is kind of like my project management, so I can see everything on a timeline that has to get done. This thing has totally changed the way I work. I'm still learning it, I'm still figuring it out, but project management in general is kind of new to me. I looked at Monday, I looked at a few other things. The terms screw me up. Asana just calls it a project and a task, and it just made sense to me. It doesn't matter what you pick something. I used to do this on Excel spreadsheets and it just really didn't work for me. In a way, in the past, I kind of used my invoicing to kind of be my project management. I would make notes on the invoices themselves. Everything was in PayPal, but there were some things that just, if that person never quite got to the invoicing stage, I totally lost track of that person. Close helps me keep in contact with literally everyone. Clients I've worked for in the past, and I can make notes on how that went. I can take detailed personal notes of that client so I can remember them, because sometimes all you need is that, oh yeah, their kid was just getting ready to go to college, I wonder how that went. Jogs your memory and things that you would normally forget. It's just a way to keep contact with the people that you really care about, your clients. And another way, it tells you if something went wrong and something derailed, you can easily take note of that. So when you contact that person down the road, say you're in a dry spell, you can go back through your client list. Hey, we talked about this. That seemed like it wasn't the right time, but what are you thinking now? Or even using it to get in contact with old clients that you've had really, really good rapport with. You've already done projects, but in my case, some of these people haven't seen the new studio, so I'm going back through that list. How did that last project go? What are the feedback you're getting? By the way, I redid the studio. Do you want to come check it out sometime? just those organic interactions that being organized allows you to have makes such a big difference in being top of mind with these individuals, which that's how you get the job. You're top of mind. When somebody thinks about needing a service, you need to be the first one that they think about, or at least awfully high on that list to the best that you can. And I've found this is a good way for me to do that without being annoying to the client. Some of the other things on the back end, I've already talked about invoicing. I do everything through PayPal, and it has simplified my life. I know some people think it's a real bummer to have to pay those PayPal fees. Making invoices and estimates through PayPal just is seamless, and especially when it comes to funding a project. Working with record labels and working with independents or even record label bands now, sometimes they're not getting the financing that they really need. PayPal gives an option for the bill me later, so you have 6 months to pay that back with no interest in most cases. And for a band, that's pretty cool because you could get the project done, get it out, start selling it, and then start paying it back with the funds from the project. That one thing alone has had probably the largest effect on my business in the 10 years that I've been here. Giving people options of how to pay for their projects is big. Sometimes what a band or what an artist wants to do is it stings to have to pay it out of pocket. And maybe they're not the type of person to go to Kickstarter or GoFundMe because they don't really want that relationship with their fans. But this allows them to kind of bet on themselves, to borrow money, no different than what a record label would be doing for you. You would have to pay that money back anyway. But it allows them to bet on themselves to take out essentially an interest-free loan for 6 months, put out the project that they really want, and see if they have what it takes to pay it back. Now that's definitely something that's not right for everyone, but it's good to have the option. Another program that I use every single day here is Dropbox. It's pretty frustrating. I wish I had an alternative to it. Dropbox seems like kind of a flight of fancy when it comes to the stream quality that you're gonna get on this thing. It is not consistent as far as playback, and it's really hard to kind of get client education involved with it because when you're dealing with like older clients, Dropbox can be a little confusing, especially when your smartphone's not that smart. So Dropbox is handy in some ways and really, really kind of behind the curve in other ways. As far as stream quality, you want to have everybody download the tracks, which then kind of defeats the purpose of Dropbox being nice anyway. I found that Google Drive kind of does the same weird thing. If you put up a mix for somebody, you want it to sound like the mix you did, not a compressed, weird, artifacty version of what it's trying to do to save space for its servers. In lieu of that, I don't use it every day, but I really, really like it. Swan.audio, a way to deliver files, and you can make it preview only, download only, or any combination of the two. So when you send files to your clients to listen to, you can send them a really, really high quality file. It's not hosted on your computer. It's not hosted on their computer. It's a 7-day link that they get. They can listen to it anywhere, on their phone, at home. As long as you can open a browser and stream that anywhere else you want, they can listen to however they want. And that can be a full, no loss WAV file. It sounds great. There is nothing that I've noticed that it does to the audio. Only downside to that is that it deletes the file after 7 days. So if your client doesn't download that file quick enough, it's gone. But I mean, you just have to send it again, and that's that. Something else that I use all the time, audiomovers listen to plugin. This has been a godsend in the last year when people just can't come to be here while I'm mixing their records. And sometimes, especially dealing with clients that maybe don't speak English as their first language, it's hard to kind of communicate back and forth via text documents to figure out what needs to happen on the mix. But using this, you can actually put this on your master bus. In my case, it's after everything I'm doing to the master. So after my Neve compressor, after anything I'm doing on the master bus to make it sound like a song, right? Then it goes before my SonarWorks room correction. So I'm hearing the room corrected stuff coming from my speakers. They're getting a feed going out over the internet. And that can be as high quality as your internet and your client's internet can handle. And it sounds really, really good. And what that allows you to do is they can listen to your mix in real time as you're changing it. So you can be on a FaceTime call with your client or on the phone with them. Sometimes I'll put in my AirPods in one ear, make the changes, we'll talk about it, make the changes, we'll talk about it. But you get instant feedback. And sometimes, especially with clients that can't really verbalize what they want out of a mix, doing something like that is awesome. And you can sign up for 3 days at a time, 6 months at a time, a year at a time. Super flexible, really, really cheap, saves an immense amount of time when you just need to get somebody on to listen to your mix and what you're doing to it right now. I'm having to force myself to get pretty organized in the studio and just to be more efficient and productive in general. So these are some of the things that I've been using. I'm sure that list will change as I keep going. I'm Resident Loser Jeremy. You guys take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.